Hello, welcome to Mr. Rollin Storytime, and today's story is a fantastic adventure. You get to go to outer space and meet some aliens. It's one of my favourite books by this author. It's Oliver Jeffers' A Way Back Home. Now, the character in this story, the little boy, are in a lot of Oliver Jeffers stories, but in this one he goes on a journey to the moon. Let's see what happens. Once there was a boy. There he is. And one day he was putting his things back into his cupboard and he found an aeroplane. He didn't remember leaving it there, but he thought he'd better take it out for a go right away. You can see him getting ready here. Looks just like a pilot. The plane lifted off the ground and up into the sky, higher and higher and higher. Suddenly, the plane spluttered. But it had run out of petrol. Now, the boy was stuck on the moon. What was he to do? There he is, just trapped on the moon. He was all alone and afraid. And soon, his torch began to give out. Oh, what's going to happen? Up in space, someone else was in trouble too. His engine had broken down. And steering the ship towards a flicker of light, he landed on the moon with a bump. I think the alien saw his torch flashing in on the moon. Both the boy and the Martian could hear noises in the dark, and both feared the worst. They could be monsters. But as their eyes got used to the dark, they both realised that they'd met someone else in trouble. They weren't alone anymore. The boy showed the Martian his empty petrol tank, and the Martian showed the boy his broken engine. They had a long conversation. Now, I don't speak Martian, and I think the Martian doesn't speak English, so we'll have to see what they said. Together they thought of ways to fix their machines and and how to get them both back home. The boy jumped down to earth to get the things they would need, right down into the sea with a little plop. And he swam towards home this way. But by the time he got there, the boy was tired out, so he sat on his favourite chair just to catch his breath. His favourite programme was just starting and he settled down to watch it. Let's see if we got on something. Suddenly, he remembered what he should be doing and rushed off to the cupboard to get what he needed. He ran outside and he shouted, but there was no reply. He couldn't be heard. The boy climbed to higher ground, called again, and he waited. This time, a rope was lowered. The boy began to climb, and the Martian began to pull. Is that the Martian pulling? It could be the boy climbing. Almost there. And soon, the boy was back on the moon. The boy fixed up the Martian's engine with the right spanner, and the Martian filled the boy's petrol tank. They said goodbye and thanked each other for their help. They wondered if they'd ever meet again. I think they're friends. After a long night, they both finally were off the moon. The boy went one way and the Martian went another. Both on their way back home. Now I love this final part because later, we don't know if it's the next day, but the boy receives a package. Now there's no words here, but we can see the little boy has got a package. He gets inside a walkie-talkie, but nothing happens. So the little boy goes off, most likely to watch his favourite show. But then, on the walkie-talkie, hello? Hello? It's the Martian. I always wonder if the boy heard the Martian's call eventually, or if he never did. The end. Now, I really like this story. It's a brilliant one if you want to learn about space and stars and the moon. As always, what I suggest doing is sequencing the story, perhaps separating it into its best 4, 5 or 6 parts and using the time words first, then next, after that, and finally to see if you can sequence the correct events in order. Also, the little boy goes on a journey to the moon. Could you write a story, perhaps a little boy or a girl, going on a journey somewhere different? Maybe they could go to the jungle or to the desert. Where would you go in your story? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon.